Ladies and gentlemen, travelers and garden enthusiasts, we are back, Africa's finest gardens and homes. Today we are in Ghana in the central region, where we will have the privilege of seeing one of the most beautiful and awe-inspiring gardens that you have ever seen. So come with me, let's go and have a look. One of the many unique features that this garden has is the use of stone and color to calm and relax someone without them even realizing it. Let me draw your attention to this, where basic stones that they're usually used for paving has been used to create this floral pattern. It's a combination of various stones and laid out with brick to give this beautiful, tranquil, but appealing picture. It shows you the owner of this garden is intentional and that he understands the way color plays in one's life and what it can do to actually relax someone. And this beautiful, I'll call it a stonery, it actually leads you to a wonderful umbrella of tranquility, where my friend here, Mrs. Peacock, has joined us, and it's a lovely area where one can sit under this canopy of beauty. It's so quiet, cool, but you can still hear the waterfall, and everywhere you look, you're surrounded by nature. And you feel relaxed and calm. And you just think, this is what Garden of Eden must have been like. At my feet is a stone carpet that separates from the grass. So you feel like you're in your own little garden living room that is here just for you. And look how they have used the simple orchid pot to create a stand for your drink or your coffee or your snack in this wonderful garden of serenity. This is bliss. We almost don't have to go anywhere else, but there's a lot more to come. Stunning. This is truly stunning. And the thing that I have to keep emphasizing is because of the fantastic use of mature plants and trees as well as smaller plants, it gives the person who's lucky enough to take all of this in a sense of peace, tranquility, calmness, and it's very cool. Right now, the way the wind is blowing, it feels like air conditioning. There's wide open spaces, and it's a warm day here in the central region, but the foliage is keeping it cool and tranquil. I wish you could be here. One of the unique features about this wonderful garden space that we're visiting today is that It has many, many walkways and entrances that makes you feel just like you're entering a room into a house. Where I'm standing now, there are actually 2 entrances, but I'm going to take you into one of my favorite hideaways within this exquisite garden. Follow me. Are you still with me? Just take a moment and look around this beautiful oasis. It's lush, it's vibrant, but it's tranquil and it's inviting. It literally says to you, come in, sit down, enjoy nature, leave your cares behind. Let me give you a few seconds to take it all in. There's always something exciting just pokes out from somewhere. So here you have these wonderful shades of green that are calming and beautiful. But then there's a pop of color that says, look at me, I'm special, I'm here just for your delight. And this entire garden, that's what you get. Around every corner, there is something to excite all your senses, whether it's water, whether it's a sense of coolness and calmness, and whether or not it's just a visual array of beauty. And of course, in the background, the ocean, which is just below us. You can hear the waves crashing over the beaches. And we're about to enter yet another room. And that's what makes this space so special. Every section has been carefully thought out and laid out for your enjoyment. And over there is a pizza oven, but we're not going to eat today. This is a tilapia fish pond. And I'm actually going to feed the fish. And this is all within the garden. So we see the waterfall. It's a splendid waterfall. Oh, that's the other thing about this garden. There are so many waterfalls, you're going to lose count. But let's get the fish to come out and play. Or is it catfish? Oh no, it's catfish. Yes. Look at the catfish. And while the catfish are munching away, I want to draw your attention to how this part of the garden has been crafted. He has made it look like a natural rock formation and then layered this wonderful creeper over it, so that not only is the water cascading down over the rocks, but it is also surrounded by a complete bed of water lilies that float in harmony with the other flora and fauna in the garden. We're going to bring them all out today. I tell you, this garden is bringing out the child in me, the youth in me, the happiness in me. And I'll dare say it will do that for anyone who is lucky enough to enjoy this beautiful space. greenery, the beautiful plants of color. For instance, this colei is one of my favorites because it looks like rich velvet. And it's coexisting happily with its cousin here and with the alamander here. And these are not usually how people place them, but they're existing beautifully side by side and creating that wonderful, serene environment that we all wish we had every day. And one of the things I love about this garden is that no section goes unused. This part of the garden is actually a steep decline. It's a slope. And most people would either fill it in or they would just leave it because there's lots of other space. But what this gardener did is, which is so brilliant, they put plants down here that can exist even in sloped or rocky conditions. We have the bougainvillea, we have the fern, and use rocks and many different types of plants to give this space its own character, even though it's on a slope and you really can't do much with it. And he's made it attractive with the stonework, hedge, and all sorts of very, what we'd call, common plants to the gardener. He has used those to make this sloping space very special. And this has given me some ideas. What about yourself? Is there a space in your garden that could use some type of intervention? Come on, we all have them. And this should give you some ideas. One of my favorite spots in this truly unique garden, and it's because this is yet another fish pond with what looks like koi fish. But what makes it so special to me is that it's surrounded by nature, and you have the water lilies, you have palm trees, you have 3 waterfalls all cascading into this area. And of course, the star attraction is none other than these beautiful fish that are just happily existing in this beautiful fish pond. And it is such a wonderful view. And there's all sorts of foliage nestled here. So it looks like you could have stumbled on this in a beautiful tropical jungle. This is what it looks like. But it has been uniquely crafted by the owner of this garden, who happens to be an architect, so that we have that natural feeling even as it's been meticulously laid out. So let's give the fish a little bit more food and thank them. And here we have the Atlantic Ocean just on the other side of the gazebo. And you have this constant melodic sound of the waves crashing along the beach shore. And it's not only relaxing and calming, but it's such a beautiful sight to behold, especially as you can also see the fishing boats from the village below, anchored just offshore for when the fishermen are ready to go fishing. It's truly an idyllic sight. And Yes, folks, this is Africa. And now we have one of the most unique features within this garden, where they have used what I would call the humble clay flower pot, which is used both for flowers and to hold water in Ghana. But in this case, they have used various sizes to create this wonderful symmetrical design which emphasizes the colored portion of the flower pot that has been turned upside down. And what is so unique is that these pots, which are all clay colored and turned upside down, they actually give the person a sense of tranquility and peace because of the rounded edges. Yet it is in almost like a rectangular square, but the use of circles and semicircles has been used to basically highlight this bougainvillea, which in the dry season it will be full of color. Bougainvilleas love hot, dry weather, and we're in the middle of the rainy season, so we only have a few flowers, but I'm sure you get the idea. It is designed to draw the eye into this beautiful space, and even shells as well as bricks have been used to create this very unique but visually appealing feature. And we are now in a portion of the garden that directly overlooks into the Atlantic Ocean and the fishing village below. But right here in our foreground, we have palm trees as well as a wonderful layout of what I would call the humble paving stone in gray and white. But it's anchored by this boulder that was more than likely found on the property, and surrounded by this lovely plant that as a child I used to pick and take the sweetness from it. And it's so wonderful to see this vibrant plant just thriving in this lovely seaside oasis. And of course, we can't overlook the lovely waterfall surrounded by the yellow allamanda and cascading, creating that sense of tranquil, cascading water effect, even as we hear the Atlantic Ocean waves crashing onto the beach several hundred yards below. So your senses of sound, sight, and scent are all coming together in this beautiful section of this garden. As I said, one of the themes of this beautiful garden is the gateways, the entrances into various segments of the garden. And this is one of the more fantastic ones. It's probably one of the earlier ones. It's full, it's lush, and more importantly and more excitingly, it actually gives you a stunning vista of the ocean below with the fish boats out there. Words cannot do this site justice. It's so beautiful. The chimes are going, the waterfall, the layout. It's truly breathtaking. Let's just enjoy. Wow. So one of the things I love about this garden is that even things that serve a purpose, such as this gutterway that allows the water from the heavy rains to wash towards the ocean, it has been covered and made a feature of the garden. And so you can walk on it comfortably, and it is flanked by these beautiful river stones to give it an interesting feature. And it's cool under here because of the canopy of the bougainvillea. And once again, we're to a walkway entrance that takes us into another part of the garden. What can I say about this space? It's tranquil, it's serene. It makes you feel as if, A, you don't have a care in the world, and that you and nature are at one. I have my drink of choice, and I can just sit here and contemplate the beauty of this earth, the beauty of Africa, and to know that this is in this, nestled away in this little fishing village, this beautiful garden, where this space is just one of many we can enjoy. Life is good. The cool ocean breezes coming off of the Atlantic Ocean to this rooftop terrace. Nature's air conditioning. And here we have yet another doorway into a different segment of the garden. And this time, it's my favorite yellow allamanda. Absolutely beautiful. And it's created a wonderful segue into yet another part of the garden. On the side of the garden, which has an English style layout, where you have beautiful, mostly bougainvillea bushes that have been manicured into very distinctive shapes. And it looks very much like the African interpretation of an colonial English garden. Nonetheless, it is beautiful, and it looks right onto the Atlantic Ocean. It is this side of the garden that most of the ducks, birds, peacocks, pigeons, chickens, all which belong to the owner of this beautiful garden, this is where most of them hang out, although they have complete free reign of the property. And what makes this area so special is that in addition to the manicured section of the garden, we also have these wide open space, which if necessary, we could have a party here for hundreds of people. But the privacy is further ensured by the tall, mature trees that surround the perimeter of the property. So whilst you may have neighbors, you'll never know because of how intentional and authentic the manicuring and development of this space has been. And I can't even name all the species of trees that are here, all complementing the cool breezes, and I mean cool breezes, that are wafting off the Atlantic Ocean to this beautiful garden in the central region of Ghana in West Africa.